Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the Supremely Enlightened One. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Dear Dhamma friends, now we're going to learn one of the sutta from the numerical discourses. You have heard this sutta several times, but reading it again, remember it again, it is really good thing. Supreme Buddha explains, for crossing this river, or crossing this flood of birth, aging, sickness, and death, that is called samsara. Okay, so crossing this samsara flood or river, you will need something to hold on. Because if you don't hold something, there is a more probability or chance that you will drown or you may thrown back, but or you can just flow with it. It will be very difficult to cross. So that thing to do to help us to cross this river, we need something to hold, and that thing is Buddha says saddha. In one of the suttas, Buddha mentioned saddha tarati oghang. Ogre, it means flood. Okay, ogre. Saddhaya tarati oghang. With the help of confidence, with the help of belief, with the help of our strength or our dedication toward Buddha, that will help us to cross this flood. So, if that is the case, then how can we develop the confidence? Buddha says, if someone wants to realize the Four Noble Truths, or someone wants to be a minimum stream enterer, that person needs these four things. If this person has these four things, it means that person can call himself that I have attended the first stage of liberation. Okay, and that is called unshakable confidence on Buddha. Unshakable confidence. There is no wavering. There is nothing that can change from them. Once you come to that confidence, that you trust blindfoldly like that. But on Buddha, there is no blindly trusting. Always there is a reason. Buddha explains. So, unshakable confidence on Buddha, unshakable confidence on Supreme Buddha's teaching, unshakable confidence on the disciple, Sravaka Sangha, and the Aryakanta seal, the virtue that delights the enlightened being or noble one. So this is called four things. Okay, if someone possesses these four things, that person can call himself, yes, I have attained the first stage of enlightenment. I am free from bad destination. I will never go to hell or never go to the animal kingdom, never go to the Titan or never go to the ghost world. I have escaped from this four bad destination. I am now destined to attain enlightenment. So, how can we develop this unshakable confidence? Because confidence doesn't come automatically. It needs constant practice. It needs constant effort to develop that trust, develop that belief. So for that, in the suttas, there are several ways that explains who the Supreme Buddha is. And today what we learn, it is one of that. The sutta, it explains about the truth, what Buddha explains, the strength, what the Buddha explains, the unfearsomeness. There is no fear in the Buddha. That explains. This sutta is called Vesārajyasutta. Okay, this is from Numerical Discourse, Book of 4, and sutta number is 4.8. Self-aroused. Okay. This sutta explains like this. Chattari mani bhikkhave tathagatasya vesārajyani. Chattari, it means four. Okay. That will be good. Some of the time when I explain the word Pali, just keep in mind that yes, and with long time of reading or understanding, we will have a huge amount of words, vocabulary. So there will be more easier and convincing for all of us to, when we read the suttas, it will be helpful. So Chattari mani bhikkhave tathagatasya vesārajyani. There are four kind of self-assurance. Four self-assurance. Yehi vesārajyehi sammannāgato. Tathagato asabhang thanam patijanati. Parisasu sihanādam nadanti. Brahmachakkam pavattanti. What the Buddha says, mendicants, a realized one has four kind of self-assurance. With these, he claims to be a bull's place, draws his lines raw in the assemblies, and turns the holy will. Why the Buddha says the asava has the strength of that kind, because he can, in Indian texture, asava, it's something unmovable, like a bull, what we see. So it's very, it explains the Buddha nicely in that. That's why in so many places you will see when there is a Ashoka pillars, and there is a bull also there, or because of it is similar for that. The person who does not retreat or does not go fall back, such for that person, this asava is mentioned. So with these four qualities, with this four assurance, the Buddha stays on his place without moving like a asava, like a bull, and do the sihanada, lines roar about Dhamma. He explains Dhamma. Brahmachakkam pavanti. Brahmachakra, it means wheel of Dhamma, which helps to escape from suffering. Katamani chattari. In what four? So the four things always remember, keep in your mind. Okay. Samma sambuddhasya patijanato ime dhamma anabhisambuddhati. What the Buddha says, Samma sambuddhasya, that Buddha proclaim, or Buddha say this thing, or you claim to be a fully awakened, that Buddha is fully awakened, but these kind of things, or couple of things, or these particular things that you have not realized yet. Such a thing, tatra me mang samano va brahmano va devo va maro va brahma va kochi va lokasmi sahadhammen patichode satiti nimitta mittam vikkhave na samanupassami. What the Buddha says, I see no reason for anyone, whether ascetic, Brahmin, God, Mara, or Brahma himself, or anyone in this world to legitimately scold me or say about me that you call yourself as a fully awakened. But these things, but you don't understand these things. Such a things can no one say, no one in this world can say that Buddha has called himself enlightened and Buddha has not attained it yet, or that Buddha has not realized certain things. So, Supreme Buddha says that in this world, no one can say this thing to the Buddha, that Buddha has not realized this thing yet. As the ocean is has very deep, but when we go for swimming, how much we swim inside? Very small amount, very real. And only that much thing that Buddha has given us in Dhamma to learn about. The rest of it is a very huge amount. And enlightened monks also have that strength to see that much. Enlightened monks has that thing too. Okay, they can see, oh, the Dhamma is very deep. But not everyone has realized that entirely. So because of that, no one can say that Buddha has not realized this particular thing. Buddha doesn't know these things. You know, when before this time, before this, all the modern science, Buddha has mentioned several things which can amaze us. And though because of that, even in today also, no one can say that Buddha has not realized this thing. In the Dhamma, every answer you will find regarding your mind, regarding this world, and how this everything is working. That is the beauty of them. So the first thing always remember that no one in this world can accuse Buddha or say these things that Buddha called himself enlightened, but he is not yet, or Buddha called himself a self-realized one, fully awakened, but he has not learned or he has not understand these particular things. That is called first. And because of no one can say these things to the Buddha, Buddha come to the Visharada Bhava, you know, self-assured to that I am in this state. So because of this strength, Buddha go to assemblies and proclaim Dhamma, turns the Brahma will. Second thing, Buddha explained, second thing about Buddha, Khina savassa te patijanato ime asava aparikhinati. Khina it means which is removed, destroyed, okay? Or slowly vanquished. No? Asava, it means stands, okay? Patijanato, Khinasavas te patijanato ime asava aparikhinati. It means the Buddha proclaimed that I have get rid of all the tents. You know, everything is removed from the life. That stance is all the defilements, but these defilements Buddha has not removed yet. Such a word, such a accuse, no one can say regarding Buddha. No one can accuse him that, oh, Buddha, you say that you have defeated all the defilements, raga, dvesha, moha, you have finished those things. But I still see this thing in your life, like you are still greedy or you are still have the hatred. Such a thing no one can say to Buddha. When the Buddha says that I have removed all the defilements, raga, the desire, dvesha, hatred, moha, the delusion, when the Buddha says that I have removed it, in this world, no one is there who can say that Buddha has not removed, not uh, finished this or not get rid of these defilements. That we should understand that, remember that. Because Buddha's path is to get remove all the or end these defilements from the life. Whoever go refuge to the Buddha, their journey is also the same thing. For what? That they can get rid of, they can uh, remove that this raga, dvesha, and moha. So when the Buddha says that he has removed in this world, no one is there who can say that Buddha did not finish these defilements. Several people tried to do that thing. Several people tried. There was a one incident called Chinchas, you know. So she was trying to blame the Buddha that, oh, Buddha explained himself as enlightened, who has completely ended the lust or desire, sensual desires. So desire he has finished. But one day, because of couple of other uh, non-religious people or who was against of Buddha, they train one of the prostitutes and they say, go to the Buddha, and at night go there. Don't go to monastery because no one can go into monastery in that night. So travel to that direction so people can see that you are going that side at night and come back at early in the morning. So she did same thing. And after a couple of days or months, she came to the Supreme Buddha with on her belly. She put the wooden sticks. She tied it up so she can look as a pregnant. And then she go and scold Buddha that say, "Oh Buddha, see you are this much huge master. You teach these things. Now take a responsibility of your kid. You know then what you would." So Buddha was very silent on that time. Because truth, it was not like that. And Buddha was not frightened. He knows what he has done. So when his calmness, his strength, when he see his truth, when he is revealed, she was frightened. And automatically when the fear, her belly's sticks all automatically falls or down, you know. And people realize that no, she was lying in that time. She was lying. So such a way people tried to accuse Buddha, but no one was successful. Why? Because because of truth. What Supreme Buddha understand? He has eradicated all the defilements, raga, dvesha, and moha, and no one in this world can say. No one in this world can say that Buddha has not. Even people try to, in the Abhay Rajakumar Sutta, the Nigantanath Buddha trained his one of the disciple and said, go and talk with Buddha and ask, do he speak hateful words or he does not? So when the disciple go and he asks, Buddha says, no, I cannot say in a one way that answer. I cannot give. He was trained, this disciple was trained of other religion, that if the Buddha says that I do speak the harsh word, I do use the words that can hurt others, then tell him what is the difference between you and the common people. So the Buddha will be defeated. If the Buddha says, I do not use such a thing, I do not use the harsh words, then you can say, then how can you have, how the Buddha has said that Devdatta is going to hell? Because of this Buddha's bitter words, Devdatta goes against of Buddha, and it is very hurtful for him to hear such a thing. But Buddha says, I cannot give the answer in a one question, one way. I cannot say I do, or I cannot say I cannot do. There is a certain things when the truth to be revealed. In that time, if it is meaningful, if it is helpful for us to understand the Dhamma, then I will definitely use those words, even that will be hurtful to you. But if it is helpful for you to realize, then, like the Buddha says, uh, so like the Buddha says that if someone is doing some wrong things, someone is engaging in violating the 5 precepts, so such a person will go to the hell or go to the bad destinations, or he will suffer a lot due to that action. In this world, no one can say that, oh, no, 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 no. Maybe it is hurtful if someone is intoxicating himself time to time for him, that you will go into hell and you will suffer there, or you will have the result of it. For him, it is difficult to listen, but it is meaningful, it is truth, and that's why Buddha reveals such a thing. Buddha explains about all the worlds, that this world, other worlds, and there is nothing that Buddha has, there is no illusion in that. What Buddha has seen in this world, that he proclaims. So that much of that is also the Buddha's divine thing, you know. So all the thing, raga, dvesha, and moha, this is eradicated by Supreme Buddha, and not a single person in this world or in this universe can say, oh Buddha, you say or you proclaim that you are fully awakened, or you have eradicated all the defilements, you have ended these defilements, but this kind of defilement, it still remains in you. No one can say. And that is the beauty of Supreme Buddha. That is the beauty. Second, third thing Buddha explains. What Buddha says, Yegho panate antarayika dhamma vutta te patisevato nalang antarayati. What does it mean? That Buddha explains, you claim to have the acts that you say are obstructions, obstacles, are not really obstructions or obstacles for one who performs them. Okay, so this is very important thing. This is very important. I gave the one example before also. So Buddha says that what the Buddha has mentioned for practicing someone, like if someone want to practice meditation, okay, and for meditation, you will need certain state of mind. You will need calmness. You will need surrounding. It is little bit suitable for that. But someone will say, no, 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 no. I can go to the party, and while the loud music is happening, I can do the breathing meditation. Is it possible to do that? If someone go to watch the movies, and there he can sit down and listening these people or talking, laughing, or enjoying themselves. And while you will say that I will do the impermanent meditation, can it possible? No, not possible. So what the Buddha says, obstacles For the attending the Dhamma, others cannot say this is not an obstacle. This is not obstacle. No one can say. There is no reason to say like that. All are what the Buddha explained is same. Like certain things Buddha explained about the karma. This is the cause and this is the effect. Someone do these things, the result will be this. So no one can say that no, no, no. If I do these things, if I kill someone, I will not suffer because of that. Because killing does not do the bad karma. If someone, no one can say that. In all the religions, everywhere, hurting another being, killing someone, it is prohibited. It is mentioned, the evil thing, you know. Why? Because of Buddha's teaching. One of the ancient religions has a huge effects on all the worldly religions. Buddha says, Antaraika Dhamma. For the for the practitioners of Dhamma, whatever the obstacles Buddha mentioned, no one can say that this is not the obstacle. This is not the obstacle. No one can say like that. If the Buddha mentioned this is obstacle, it is means it is obstacle. We cannot keep our foot in two different boats. We will fall down. If we want to keep the balance, then we have to come into the one state. And that is one is the Buddha says this is obstacle for Dhamma to practice. It means this is obstacle for Dhamma to practice. If someone is sitting in the beauty, like whatever the sensual desirable things he's enjoying, and in that time, enjoying these all things, and he said, I am doing the Ashubha sadhana, I am doing the Ashubha meditation, I see impurities. Is it possible to do that? For that, we need isolation. We need a certain amount of things, Someone is want to do the practice, for the Ashubha sadhana and for all the things, because our six senses, it is drown always run toward enjoyment, always run toward enjoyment. So what the Buddha says, if someone want to realize Dhamma, how they should behave, how they should act. Buddha says, if a person walking on the street where the all different kind of enjoyment is happening, and he is holding the cup of or glass of or spoon of oil in his mouth or on his forehead, and he's walking there, okay? And if he looks here and there, or he do a certain movements, the oil will fall. If the oil falls, then the behind there is a two guards are holding the sword and coming behind him. And the king has ordered that if the oil spills, immediately kill that person. So, who will love to live, who want to survive, what that person will do? He will concentrate himself and he will walk straight without looking here and there, even how much he wants to enjoy, how much the noise is happening. He will be very comfortable. Buddha says such a strength is needed to develop the Dhamma in our life. In this world, no one can say, I can intoxicate myself. I can break the precepts. And even after doing that also, I can realize the Dhamma cannot happen. Buddha may mention this is the obstacles to practice. It means those are obstacles to realize Dhamma. Those are obstacles that we should understand. If someone say, I can do evil thing, and I can, by doing those evil things, I can collect merit. Can it possible? Killing someone, can it collect merits? Cannot. Stealing something from someone, can that person collect merit from someone? You know, sexual misconduct, no one can collect merit. Only destruction, only dispute, only and only suffering will be fall come because of those reasons. That thing Buddha mentioned. That's why Yekopanate Antarayika Dhamma. What the Buddha has mentioned that this is the obstacles or obstructions for the realization of Dhamma. Nalang Antarayati. No one can say this is not the obstacle. This is not the obstructions. This is not hindrance for the Dhamma. No one can say. Not a single person in this world can. That one, that thing we should understand. From this one word, Antarayika Dhamma, we can understand how beautiful the Buddha's mind was. He has mentioned 2600 years before the Dhamma, and still today, it is completely not a single word you can remove from the Buddha's words. In this modern world, you cannot remove. It can, as it is, we can apply to our life. As it is, nothing we need to change. Why? Because this Dhamma is about our mind. 2600 years before, people has a lustful thoughts. Today also, people have lustful thoughts. In that time, people were greedy. Today also, they are greedy. Earlier, people feel jealousy. Today, there is also jealousy. That time, there was hatred. Today also, the hatred is the same. Delusion. Holding of, I want to exist in certain worlds. That delusion is there. That desire is there. Delusion regarding this entire world. The phenomena we have, that time also was there. We just have developed outside sources, but inside our way of thinking is as it is 2600 years before us. So what the Buddha mentioned to us, it is equivalent. As it is, we can practice it without changing. That's why. And because that is why Buddha says, Antarayika Dhamma, what Buddha has mentioned, no one can come in this world and no one can say, no, this is not the obstruction, this is not the obstacle for realization. Remember that. That is the third. Last one, Buddha says, Yasakopanate attaya dhammo deseto so na niyati takkarasa samma dukkha khayayati. Buddha says, I see no reason for anyone, whether ascetic, Brahmin, God, Mara or Brahma, or anyone else in the world, to legitimately scold me, saying, though you teach that this teaching lead to the goal of the complete ending of suffering, it doesn't lead there for one who practice it. It means that in this world, no one can say this eightfold path does not take you to enlightenment. Even today, in the India, there are several different religions, different practices, as you have heard. Even now also, no one can say what the Buddha mentioned, eightfold path. It cannot lead you to enlightenment. No. Buddha has mentioned this Dhamma will take you to certain place it will definitely take you to that sort of thing. Definitely. Whatever the Buddha mentioned for realization of Four Noble Truths, or whatever the path Buddha mentioned to eradicate or extinguish this suffering, definitely that will help us to take ourselves to enlightenment. That is the strength of the word Buddha. That is the strength. What Buddha shown the path. Because before the Buddha, it was not like here in this world. There is no liberation. There was idea of liberation was there, but no one was attaining enlightenment. Since the Buddha born, the enlightenment appear in this world. So remember this thing. So what? That in this world, what the Buddha teaches, this is the path of eradicating Dhamma, eradicating and all the defilements. This is the path you will finish your suffering, ending of suffering. No one can say this path does not lead to the ending of suffering. No one can say. That is the strength of suffering. You should remember what Buddha says later, that imani ko chattari tathagatasya vesārajjani. What the Buddha says, that since I see no reason, such a reason, I live secure, fearless, and assured. With this strength of this four kind of Visharad Bhav, assurance, Buddha says, I am fearless, I am secure. No one can touch us in that way. I realized one has these four kinds of self-assurance. With this, he claims the bull's place, roars his lion's roar in the assemblies, and turns the holy wheel. The various grounds for criticism that ascetics and Brahmins rely on vanish on reaching a realized one. Assured, gone beyond grounds for the criticism. He rolls the wheel of Dhamma as consummate one, complete, compassionate for all living creatures, sentient beings, revered him first among gods and humans who has gone beyond the rebirth. What it says, the Buddha is the first person who has finished this. They, heavenly beings, show reverence, show their respect toward Buddha. He is the one who proclaimed the will of, or proclaimed the Dhamma. He is the one who turns the will of Dhamma. You know? In this world, no one can say that Buddha has not attained enlightenment. No one can say. So remember these four qualities of Supreme Buddha. Time to time, let's say, oh, my teacher, the Buddha, has attained this certain states. These four Visharad qualities, four Visharad or assured, self-assured things. If we remember continuously, if we think of, then it will be very nice for us, or it will be helpful for us to attain the confidence on Buddha, Dhamma, etc. Okay, so remember. So that's all for today. May this sutta be helpful for all of us to develop the unshakable confidence on Supreme Buddha. May this sutta be helpful for all of us to realize the Dhamma in this Gautam Buddha dispensation. Sadhu. Any questions you want to ask, we can, regarding this sutta, we can discuss. This is beautiful sutta. Read couple of times. Memorize it in a way. You don't have to memorize the Pali words, but whenever you think, like when you're doing the Buddhanussati meditation, when you are remembering the qualities of Buddha, you can just say, oh, how beautiful. Means you don't need the particular words to remember the Buddha's qualities. You can just say, how beautiful my teacher is. And in this world, no one can accuse him that he is Samma Sambuddha. And no one can accuse him that he is not. That is the strength of Buddha. I have gone refuge to Buddha, who is fully enlightened one. You can say that this one also. Oh, how amazing the Buddha is. That no one can accuse him, no one can say him that Buddha has not finished these defilements. He is purely, perfectly enlightened one. He has eradicated all the defilements. He has finished all the tenets. He has finished all the reason for suffering. My teacher is truly a fully enlightened one. Enlightened, arahant one. You can think like that. When you are meditating, you can think like this also. I am a child of Buddha. I am a disciple of Buddha. And Buddha said, this is the Dhamma which is obstacle for me, life of holy life. In this world, no one can say this is not obstacle. If the Buddha mentioned this is obstacle, it means this is the obstacle for Dhamma. Let me practice of this Dhamma. No, let me practice this Dhamma. Because what the Buddha says, it is obstacle, it means it is obstacle. I will avoid them. What the Buddha says, this is not obstacle, this will help you to practice Dhamma, enlightenment. I will practice that. It will give you huge strength to the practicing of Dhamma. Fourth one you can say, Buddha mentioned, this is the path. Ekayano ayam bhikkhave maggo sattanam visuddhya. What Buddha says, this is the only path which leads to enlightenment. It means this is the path, is definitely taking me to enlightenment. No one can say, no, there is a certain other path. Oh, Buddha said, no. Today's modern world, take this shortcut. There is no. This is the only path. And that's why the noble disciple, there is a quality called Ujupatipanno. Ujupatipanno, it means the straight path. There is no shortcut, there is no ups and downs. This is the one direct way. Buddha's path is that. So as a daughter, as a son of Buddha, as a disciple of Buddha, let me follow this path. Because no one can say, no, this path will not lead to enlightenment. There is other path to lead to enlightenment. No, this is the only one for me. And you will see your practice. As you think of like this, you will see you will have a huge strength of Dhamma to follow this path. Okay? That's all for today.